Hello, everyone that's joining us. I think you're all muted anyway, but hello, thank you for coming. Much appreciated. This is the first showcase on Zoom, so please bear with. But today we have a few young people who have been in our Intro to Wagtail and DevOps course, basically showing off what they've managed to achieve in the space of a month. We also have a few people from that they've helped out, so a few of their clients that might want to say a few words as well. But the way that this is going to go is each person will present for about 3 minutes, and at the end of the 3 minutes I'll probably just mute them, and then there'll be space for questions if you have any questions. And yeah, thank yous and stuff will happen afterwards as well. But there's not really much to say, you know. I guess I'll talk about Coders of Color and what we do. So it's a not-for-profit that's aimed at getting the next generation of underrepresented people of color into tech, mainly through hands-on workshops, and now we've evolved to kind of like courses, kind of what we're doing now. And the whole point is that, you know, anyone of any level can come to us and want to learn new skills, and we'll help people from no experience to have some experience, which you'll see as well this evening. And we just, yeah, support them through it, give them something tangible. So now everyone here has a GitHub account, everyone has a very small portfolio, a lot of which they didn't have before the beginning of this. And it's just we also provide role models, so to let people know that there are people in tech that look like them, and you know, it's something that they can achieve if that's what they want to. So I think with a very short introduction over, I will hand over to our first young person, and that is Abdul. So Abdul, please present what you've done.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hey everyone. Good evening. Yeah, so my name is Abdul Majid from Nigeria. I'm a recent graduate of chemical engineering. So I've been part of this workshop learning Wagtail, and it was an amazing experience. And I'm glad to be part of the workshop, and I learned quite a lot in it. So yeah. Wait, do I show the site or?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the first. Okay. Okay, my bad. Sorry.
What was your experience? What was your prior experience before the beginning of the course?
Oh, okay. Okay, so before this, I was a self-learner. I was learning a bit of Python so I can kind of utilize it in my field of study of chemical engineering. But over time, I got interested in learning more about programming. So I was exploring more and more. And then I got into, Django, and I wanted to use Django for my own benefit, maybe to start some small freelancing and stuff. Basically, just to have skills to improve myself. So and for my project, I built a website for an organization, like an association. Basically, it was a football club. So basically, what happened was, should I share screen? Should I share?
Yeah, show your screen.
Oh, okay. Is it okay? Okay, so basically, what happened is like the organization which I built for, which is called London Jaguars Community Association. Basically, they didn't have any websites, so which means that they didn't have much visibility online, other than few of their social media. But having a website can bring a strong presence for those for the community, and to show that that they're like a serious organization and stuff like that. So what we did is, like, since they didn't have a website, as you can see, I built a website for them. to establish themselves as a serious organization, and where other people can see what they do, and also provide maybe future opportunity of people who are interested in their organization and stuff like that. And how I did it is I created this website where it's very easy for them to like customize it, adding articles and editing the page easy. I mean, they don't have to stress themselves a lot in content management. Like if they want to, they can add articles and change whatever, just to make it very easy for them. And what my aim is I want this website to like I said, like have people acknowledge it, and maybe future sponsors would be interested in what they do so they can support them, or maybe youths who are into the organization can join in and see what they do and stuff like that. And yeah, like these are some of the demonstrations. Like if you go here, you can edit the details in the about page if they like, add some new contents and stuff like that. So basically the organization that I built for is basically it empowers youths who are basically engaged youths who into participating in sports, and they also promote fitness among the youths. They also encourage fitness, well-being of the youths, and also to empower them to be more confident and also be like future leaders. They also provide like recreational activities and other stuff for the youths. So basically, it's basically an organization that helps youths and promote fitness and stuff like that. I had a great time building this website. I learned a lot through the process of building website. I'm glad to be part of this workshop, and yeah, I hope uh, I hope they benefit a lot. I hope this website helps them in the future. Yeah, I tried best to make it really nice and make it easy for them to edit and add content to it and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Great. Just before we open up to questions, just in case anyone
Mm.
has questions, we have Bodril here from London Jaguars, actually, who would like to say a few words about everything.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, my name is Bodrul Khan. I'm part of London Jaguars Community Association. So yeah, I'm happy with the services Coders of Colors has provided with Tolu as well as Abdul Majid for supporting us, because we don't have a website ourselves, and this is something that we've been after for some time now, and for coders to come in and help us, it's been a great beneficial, and I'm sure going in the future we can meet the wider community more quick and efficiently with this website that we have. The services that we provide is fitness and nutrition program for young people, as well as ladies in our community that are disadvantaged and from a vulnerable community. So helping them to tackle obesity, as well as maintaining the BMI levels. So that's what we're doing at the moment. And I'm hoping this website will obviously help us, and and at the same time, I'm happy as well because we had someone that's created it. He's actually a very young person that we're associated with in our community. So he's very talented, and he helped us to get this far. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Bodril. So I'll open it up for questions really quickly for Abdul. Does anyone here participating have questions? Please send them in the chat and I will ask him. I guess I will ask Abdul, what was your favorite session?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
So sorry, favorite session?
What was your favorite session in the course?
The favorite session? Deployment of the project to Heroku, because before I've heard of Heroku, but I always saw it as no, actually Heroku and also AWS, because before I always saw it as something complicated, especially AWS, because I heard a lot that it's very complicated, it's very hard. So like during my process, my journey of to going through Python, I've heard of Heroku and Python AWS, and learning about it during the workshop, it was nice and beneficial. It's not as hard as I thought it is, but it's a bit frustrating if you run into errors. But yeah, I really enjoyed it the most, because it's really amazing how you upload the project into Heroku and how it makes everything very easy, so it's a really nice service. Well, AWS, there are lots of utilities. I'm sure it's pretty difficult, but it's enjoyable. I love this kind of things. Yeah.
Great. And we have a question from Kevin. What did you find most challenging?
The most challenging is wanting to execute something and try to find a solution for it, especially going to the documentation. Like it's quite hard to go, because like for example, I wanted to know if it was possible to have some sort of condition where, like, okay, what if there are no articles, like what if there's no articles, like with the page break, and I don't want it to show that there's nothing. I wanted to show like there's a content saying that, oh, there's no articles, like if there's no articles showing up, it will bring some kind of message saying there's no articles. So I had to kind of research into understanding how you execute this kind of thing, and then that's when I discovered about the what was it called, something diff, something where you can where you can kind of select the set query. I think that way you can select what you need in the set query and deploy it into the template, this kind of thing. So it's very interesting to discover this kind of thing, and I'm quite surprised how the functionalities around it. Yeah, it was difficult, but I learned quite a lot.
Good, good. We have another question from Asia. Sorry if I butchered your name. If you had more time, what would you have added or changed?
If I had more time, maybe like more debugging, probably. Like maybe most of the functionalities, what do you call it? Like maybe the website maybe not be refined. Let's say, for example, like when you go to a wrong page, it will say page not found. It wouldn't look nice. Like the message shouldn't really look nice. I would have, added some sort of, proper template to show that, a nice template saying that, oh, no page found, or find some small bugs within it. Maybe just kind of like tweak it and refine it over time. But yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay, thanks. That being said, I know Apple said he's going to change a lot, but his website is already very good and like really customizable. So we started quite strong tonight, to be honest. Okay, so the next person up is Sophia. So let me just find you. There we go. And unmute if I can find you. Where are you? There you go.
Hiya, my name is Sophia Awil, and I've just finished a chemistry degree. My first introduction to coding was in my second semester of my third year of university, where I'd done a computational chemistry module, but it was a lot of just copying the lecturer, and I felt kind of like a hacker because we had the terminals open, and that was quite cool. Other than that, I don't have much experience in coding or tech in general, and I think one of the biggest takeaways I've taken from this course is the hands-on experience. And I genuinely believe if it was more of a theoretical course, I wouldn't have learned as much as I did and feel confident enough to show you the website that I've made. I don't have a previous, there was no, so the charity that I worked with was Headway Milton Keynes, and they did not have a previous website because their website was hacked, unfortunately. So it kind of gave me like a new slate, and my intention making the website was making it so that it was easy on the eye, you know, fresh and just concise and easy to read. Headway Milton Keynes works with people who have brain injuries. So one of the biggest asks was the website being accessible. And if I just show my screen, I can show you what I've done. So I made sure not to include too much text. Sorry, 2 seconds. So here's the website that I managed to create. They have a really nice promotional video, which I really hope everyone would watch about, and it kind of just shows what they do and who they work with. I tried to make it quite simple. They wanted a lot of photos, so I tried to make sure that I could break up the text as much as I could and include a lot of, just make sure that the text was like categorizable. And I made sure that the colors were nice. So I like their logo has a blue, so I thought I'd include some blues as well. And that's all that I managed to be like done with the website. Some of the improvements I could have included if I had a bit more time was, I'll show you guys. So I made a contact us page, and I know most times when you go to a contact us page, there's a Google Maps next to it, and that's something I did want to implement, but I didn't have enough time. But genuinely with the website, I just hope that they can reach a lot more people that need their services. So as I said, they work with people with brain injuries, and brain injury is actually the biggest cause for acquired disability in the UK. The way that they help is they provide workshops to help with rehab, or to help, they hold workshops to help with cognitive skills, and just help people relearn some of the skills that they had before. And that's, yeah, I've learned a lot about building a website, and actually the mindset that you have to have and how methodical it is. And it's so nice. Now it's given me a lot more appreciation when I visit other people's websites, knowing what's going on in the end. And yeah, I've learned a lot, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity.
Great. Does anyone have any questions? This is where I wait, and I ask Sophia, I would just ask, I'll be basic and ask, what was your favorite session of the whole thing?
My favorite session was actually when we first got started with Wagtail, and having like a little live, so, you know, creating all the changes, downloading all the things that we needed to download, and then at the end of the session, seeing, you know, what I wrote. So I think I wrote welcome, and this is a blog post, and just seeing it, you know, reflected back at you, it was very exciting, and it kind of showed me how Wagtail can be used, which was fun.
Great. We have a question. Well, is it? Yeah. Okay, wow. So what were things you thought would be important for easy accessibility? I'm a cancer patient, and I think it's great how clear and easy to navigate it appears. So well done.
So I actually have some first-hand experience with accessibility tech. So I have rheumatoid arthritis, so I use accessibility tech a lot, especially when I got diagnosed. And I realized I didn't want anyone to feel left behind, basically. And I think that was one. So when Kirsty, who I worked with on the website, she said she wanted, you know, big text, and big text, lots of images, and just making sure that it wouldn't cause anyone fatigue, especially if you have a brain injury, if you have a chronic illness or anything. So because I kind of had that first-hand experience, I think it was a little bit easier for me to realize exactly what I wanted in the website. And yeah, that's how I kind of approached it.
Great. Another question from Jennifer. It sounds like you really enjoyed some of the design elements, Sophia. What was your favorite part? Design, coding, UX? Sounds like you've thought a lot about this, or writing content.
I think I enjoyed design the most. I think it took me about a day to come up with different fonts and making sure that it wasn't anything that had, is it serif? You know, when it has the little dashes on the letters. Just making sure that it was something that could be translated, like for example, even if it's quite a small size, it was still readable and easy. And I created a color scheme, but again, I would have loved to implement it a lot more through the website and making sure it was like bright, fresh colors, just to, you know, grab the attention and make sure that it wasn't, you know, it wasn't too much. But yeah, I think I enjoyed design the most out of all of the aspects.
Great, so it looks like we've got a future designer on our hands. I will swiftly move on to the next person, which is, who's next? Anastasia. Okay, right, pin the video, unmute, if I can find you, and off you go. There we go.
Cool. Hi everyone, I'm Anastasia. I'm a final year PhD in medicine. So I came into this course with zero to very minimal self-taught online experience just in Python. However, everyone in the course, the coaches, Tolu has been so helpful. And it has been such a rewarding experience, and it's been actually a massive challenge that's been really quite intense as well. So I've been very lucky to be working with the Butterfly CIC. It's a charity based in Manchester that provides culturally sensitive psychotherapy services for BAME individuals, including trauma-based therapy for FGM survivors. So in the first instance of looking at, let me just share. In the first instance, when I saw their old website, I knew something like needed refurbishing. They had an amazing aesthetic that I thought of. I really wanted it to be more user-friendly. So this is the old website that they had. Yeah. So I wanted it to be a bit more user-friendly, more informative for the visitors and also for the charity themselves. So after meeting with the Butterfly, I figured out what needed doing. So I'm a trauma survivor myself of color. And so I had the privilege to tap into the mind of what an individual would want to benefit from the services that the Butterfly CIC provides. So I took into the consideration of the target audience in mind. And I thought it was very important that the website was really easy to navigate, really clean, really clear and simple. But also still maintaining their original aesthetic from the old website. So the homepage of the website, I wanted it to feel like home. It's just images of butterflies, along with a very clean. And then about a page, I've included also embedded HTML of the map where they are based in. And then these are also services, which I've tried to make very clean and very clear, and some images of their past events. And then a contact form page, a donation page, which will be expanded further, and also a blog index page, which the Butterfly CIC was very keen on expanding once this website is fully up and ready. And also at the bottom of the page, usual social media links, so it would be very easy for the visitors to just then connect further with the charities themselves. So in the future, I would like to expand a lot more with the website. I want to include the calendar services, which will make the counseling workshops and bookings very easy for the individuals that visit the website. And yeah, I would like to thank the Butterfly CIC for trusting me on the vision.
Yeah, well done. So sad that people can't clap. Well, they can, but I'm not going to turn off audio on just to clap. I will clap on behalf of everyone. Really well done. I will again start with questions. What was your favourite session? You have muted yourself.
Sorry. My favorite session, I think it's probably the first time that when we, and then run server and it was just home or like my blog. I think it was just to think back to it again, like from then to now making a whole actual website. Yeah, I think that's my favorite part so far.
Okay, great. And what was the hardest part about the whole month? Because you didn't have much experience beforehand, did you?
No, yeah. I think it's funny because I think the hardest part is actually like letting things just go when it doesn't work. Like I cannot sleep if I have an internal server error. I'm like, I'm gonna do this until it just works. So I think that was like the hardest part for me.
That sounds like some personal development, which is also great. We've got a question from Kevin. Has this inspired you to help other people get into coding?
Definitely. I think it's more of a language, and it's something that I feel like at first just seems like, I was talking to Tolu about it before, like I think this is something that only certain people of the certain brain can actually do, but I realize now that I can actually do it myself, and yeah, definitely it has.
We have a question from amazing speaking coach, Malik, which is, the charity seemed to resonate with you a lot. How do you think the charity can increase their web presence or serve their community better through tech?
I think marketing and branding, that's one thing that I think the Butterfly CIC would benefit so much more from. I think they would, yeah, I think that's probably the first thing that I would go for.
Okay, great. And before I answer the next question, it looks like Sade from the Butterflies is here. So let me quickly unmute her and see if she has anything that you want to say. Sade, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Hi, would you like to say a few words about the whole experience?
Oh, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm very, very grateful for the website. Yeah, we are into we are community-based company. Not company, I would say we're into community-based projects. So we are CIC, actually. So we support women and family as well in the BAME community. So we provide counseling, support, and psychotherapy. So we do it for free, and we have some discounted rates as well. So we've been doing this since 2014. We were more like a community group, or we recently became CIC. So we wanted a very good website so that people can have access to our service. And we are so grateful that Anastasia, yeah, she designed something really, really nice, something professional, and we are very, very grateful for that.
Thank you so much, Sade. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. So back to questions, because we haven't finished with questions yet. So Roger says, as a first timer, you've made an amazing attempt. I agree. How would you progress from here, and what's your future goal?
Is this in terms of the website or in terms of my life?
Let's do both.
Let's do both. Okay, from the website, I think I would love to make more modules, definitely like what I've said before, like the calendar. Also, they had a chat, I think they had a chat, what is it called? Like a feature in their old website, which I was not able to do now. So yeah, that's something that I would like to progress. In terms of myself, I'm still doing my PhD, but I'm reconsidering my life obviously in quarantine, and I'm thinking to going into tech and also maybe combining both science and also tech, and see where I can go with web or tech developing.
Great answer. With that, I will swiftly move on to our next person, who is Joy. Joy, where are you? There you are. Pin video. Unmute, there you go. Can you unmute yourself? Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Joy. I'm 23 and I currently work in media within the ad tech industry as a programmatic trader. I have previous experience in coding, so I currently self-teaching myself front-end languages. And I thought this course would be a great way for me to learn back-end, because prior to this, I'll be honest, back-end languages seemed very scary and kind of like out of my reach. But since participating in this course, I feel like, you know, I can pretty much achieve anything I can put my mind to, and nothing is unattainable for me, really. And just my experience on this course has been a great one. I feel like we have a very welcoming environment here, and a supportive one at that. We've created a great space, safe space for one another, and I'm just so happy to be a part of it, really and truly. So moving on to my charity. So my charity is called ADEPS, which stands for Alliance for Population and Development Services. I'm just gonna show you their old website. Okay, is it showing up? Yeah, okay. So they're a non-profit community-based organization that operates in Kenya in a region called Vihiga County. And their work primarily focuses on kind of empowerment to the people and improving their quality of life. So their services range from women's empowerment, childcare services, healthcare services, and environmental preservation. And they have like they understand fully the importance of the internet and the web in promoting their message and getting people to support them. So having a website for them is very vital and really important. But the main issue, as you can see, is that they have a lot of pages, like a lot of pages. Not all of them are necessary. So my main solution was just to kind of compile all the information into a few easy to navigate and easy to understand pages. So if I move on to my site. So this is my website. So you can see straight off that the navigation bar has been really simplified. And we have a few donate pages, donate buttons, scattered about. And if we go down, we've got a brief intro into who the organization are, the work that they do, and a bold call to action kind of driving people to donate. The progress bar here is to signify the progress that they've made so far. So they want to impact their community of 140,000 people. So far, they've only managed to reach 20,000 roughly, which is still pretty amazing. That's only 15% of the population. And you can help them achieve their goal by donating. So onto the About page, we have a video here from Churchill, who is the director of the charity. He's just talking about the passion for the work that they do and encouraging you to support them. We have a brief description of who they are again. You can see the team. And again, another call to action asking you to donate to help them achieve their goals. So with the blog page, As you could see on the previous website, they had a lot of content, and I did not want to discard any of that because they put a lot of work and effort into the pages and content that they had. So I thought of repurposing that into blog posts, which works well because I can work with them in implementing an SEO strategy. So we can optimize the blog content to improve their ranking and gain some more visibility on the web. So the contact page, we have a form and more ways to contact them. And if I move on to the donate page. So with the donate page, we have the bank transfer details. One thing that I would like to do in the future is kind of just have a PayPal form that will redirect the user to PayPal to finish off the transfer, just because that's a more efficient way to donate and it's a more seamless process that will drive donations. And we've got more ways to get involved to support the charity. So one thing I really, really admire about this charity is they're very humble, and like, you don't have to donate to support them. As you can see on the site, one way to support them is just to pray for their work, for the work they do. They just appreciate having you in their thoughts and prayers, which is amazing. And they have a strong emphasis on the power of one, of how empowering an individual can have a wider impact on the community. Because within the area, unfortunately, they have an unemployment rate of 95%. So the remaining 5% of the population, they support the rest of the community. So because of that, they don't have the opportunity to kind of pull themselves out of poverty, and it just creates an endless cycle. So by supporting the charity, you're able to support individuals to want and do better for themselves and have that freedom, which I really, really appreciate and I really admire about them. Yeah.
Great, wonderful, Joy. Thank you very much. Again, clapping. And yeah, I think right now in Kenya it's 10 p.m. So it was a bit too late for Churchill to join us, but he's been super appreciative. And if you check the video, his video on the website Joy made, then you'll be able to, hear from his mouth the work that they do. So I'm going to ask you again the basic questions. What was your favorite session?
I would say my favorite session is when I first made my personal site. So when we first made the site, because it just seemed like it was a big achievement because it was a struggle to get there. And it was just very satisfying to see like how, even it was just a few days of work has ended up in me having an actual site on the site that I made on the web internet that I actually made myself, which was a very proud achievement.
Great. I'm still waiting for questions from you. Oh, yay. Thanks to Kevin. Love the donation progress bar idea. Same. How is that handled in the back end, or is it purely front end? Oh, technical question.
So that's just CSS. So I just copied and pasted some code, if I'm honest, for the progress bar. I'm sure there's better ways to do it, probably with JavaScript. But that's something I probably look into doing in the future, just to make it a bit more sophisticated.
Great. Another one from Malik. Love how you communicated the USP of this amazing charity. How do you think the charity could communicate that message online better?
I'd say with social media. So they do have a YouTube channel, which is inactive, but again, probably like Facebook, Twitter, mostly Facebook, I'd say. Because I do work in marketing, so that's something I can definitely help them with to drive attention. But just if they just post what they're doing to make it known, that could definitely raise awareness and draw attention.
Great. Question from Bodru. What would you recommend to a newcomer? What would you recommend a newcomer to coding?
In terms of what? As in like?
I would say resources. I would just go for resources.
Okay. In terms of resources, just building a network, I would say, because I have previously tried and failed, I'd say failed to get into coding, but I feel like I've made more success now in the few months that I've been trying, or even the few weeks that I've been trying, than compared to previous years, just because I've built a network of people who can support me, and I too can provide support to. So I would say that is a great way to start, and obviously stay into building a network of people is the most important thing, I would say, as a newcomer, definitely as a newcomer.
Okay, so you would say the best resource is other people then?
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's a lot of online resources teaching you how to code, but if you're doing that in isolation, you can only get so far. You know, you're doing it with only your viewpoint and your point of view, so you don't know the wider scope of things.
100%. Thank you so much, Joy. Oh, another question. What's the next thing in coding you would like to learn?
I would say, because I've kind of tried back end now, I'm like, I am interested in it. So I would like to try and delve deeper into Python. So that would be my next step.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Joy. Woo! Wait, let me unpin. Yay, it's nice to see people clapping. The next person up is, oh wait, hold on, I just asked you to unmute, don't unmute. It's Sabiha, so let me ask you to unmute first, pin the video, and off you go.
Hey, so I'm Sabiha Sabor, and I currently am a global business analyst for a pharmaceutical consulting firm, but I have been furloughed. So during this time of furlough, I thought, why not do this coding course? So previously, my coding experience has been with a Code First for Girls course at Twitter, where I learned HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And that was a year ago. So really, I wanted to brush up on my skills, on my coding skills. And I've never touched Python before. So yeah, this is all very new to me. With the course, I learned that coding doesn't just build code, it builds character. And throughout this whole journey, I've experienced like really high highs, but then also like really low lows. And it's when I've experienced those highs, everyone in the course has like celebrated with me, the volunteers, thank you. And then with those lows as well, also have received support. So yeah, so we'd just like to thank the course and everyone at the start. So I guess we come back to my site, which I will share my screen. So my charity and my client, we are called, they are called For Them, and they didn't have a website before. So I'll just share my screen. Can everyone see my screen? Yeah. Okay, so they didn't have a website before. And it was interesting as well, because my client was a taxi driver, and he was using his time to help the current crisis in Yemen, which, it's horrible. It's actually the biggest humanitarian crisis that's going on. You've got war, famine, preventable diseases, and now coronavirus. So I've used the skills of Wagtail, Python, Django to build this website from scratch for this charity group. And so really, we can go one by one in terms of, about them. So on their About Us page, we see who they are. Initially, they were just volunteering since 2012. And it's really to promote charity in Yemen. So their message is to make Yemen smile again. And what I've added here are basic stream fields, and I've centered them to create a more visually appealing look for the site. And then I've also created some cards here where to showcase what the charity's goals are. So you have livelihoods, supporting livelihoods, raising awareness about the Yemen crisis, delivering projects such as distributing food and water, and supporting the most vulnerable. So really, that's really about the charity, and I really wanted to take the urgent appeal message home by creating this footer. Can everyone see the footer? So if we look here, a child under the age of 5 in Yemen dies every 10 minutes. Now, globally, what I wanted to do was create this urgent appeal look by using a counter in JavaScript. And so here we have 1 child dies of hunger every 10 seconds, and it's counting down from 10. And then just from when I started opening the site, 12 children have died since visiting this site just from hunger. This tool took quite a while to make. My family are watching right now, and they saw me break down and curl up in bed, and they were very supportive, so thank you. So yeah, thank you for the support, guys. What I've also done is showcase what the charity For Them does in blog projects, which the client can go in to change. So again, this was through creating cards on Wagtail, and just like the cards that we saw before on our About Us page, these cards you can click into. So for example, we have a free bakery project, and this information can all be changed, and we have our lovely videos of what's actually happening down there. If we go back on to our home page, we have our donate button here and within our nav bar. And if we go on to the donate page, this is their original donation page, which I've linked. In the future, what I do want to do is, so currently I was showing the target appeal. So once that's over, what I can do is then implement, like Joy said, a PayPal function for the donate page. And also another thing, again, because it's an urgent appeal, is to make it image responsive. So you can see it on your phone, you can donate on your phone through there. And then if I just show my developer tools, you can see it through a mobile, a tablet, or a bigger laptop. So if I exit that, in terms of the future for the project, I do, if anyone's on Twitter, the Yemen crisis is trending. So what I do want to add is a Twitter like field, Twitter stream, so you can see what the hashtags on Twitter are. Another thing is, currently the charity doesn't have any social media. So once that's all been made, I can hopefully implement it on the on a header, and then also create a volunteer contact page in the future. I don't think the charity client leader is here, but he has emailed me like with good feedback, which was yeah, I just wanted to share. He did say when he saw the website, it made him cry, because he was super passionate. So yeah, I'm very happy because I cried during making this website through just like sheer hard work. So yeah, this website is for them, it's for Yemen.
Wow, I think we're all crying now. Oh no, applause, but everyone's crying too. So that was great. Question straight in from Malik. Wow. Okay, so could you share with us, over the duration of this course, your highest of highs and maybe the lowest point if you feel comfortable? And lastly, what's the next step in your coding journey?
So highest of highs, probably to make this counter work. Yeah, that was a good high. And then I guess the lowest of lows, I think, what was it? I think it was, there was a day that I just spent loads of work just coding, and then I just like had a breakdown. And then I just couldn't sleep over it, and so I realized like to have a break, and then I just didn't speak to anyone about it, and then as soon as I did, yeah, it really helps. The next step in my coding journey, hopefully, so I wanted to build a website and use the skills that I've learned for Python to make a mental health website where you can share your mental health experiences. So hopefully use those skills and implement it there. Yeah.
Well, watch this space for her mental health website. We'll be sharing that when that's done. No pressure, obviously. We don't want any more breakdowns. Your layout seems very well thought out. How did you arrive at it?
Honestly, it did not look like this before. Yeah, for the volunteers that were helping me, yeah, they probably thought, what is going on at the start. But what I did is I made it just like super simple. And yeah, it took loads of drafts. I have all my different drafts actually here all over me. Yeah, all over this table. So a lot of, yeah, a lot of it was just using pen and paper and saying, okay, I want it like this and this. So yeah, that's not how it was going to look like in my head.
Cool. And in one sentence, can you give us more insight on Python and how it was used in the project?
Yeah, sure. So Python is a programming language, and what it does is, so it, in terms of, Python pressure question. In terms of what it does is, it, instead of just like putting, so for example, if I have this text here, instead of just like you know, adding a normal HTML tag to say, okay, let me put this on the back end, like Python and Django would be used to be like, okay, let's create this box, and then the text can be in it after. Does that make sense? I feel like someone else can explain it a lot better.
Yeah, we can get one of the volunteers to explain it later on. Don't worry, it's fine. So now I'm gonna press you for time on these questions.
Okay.
I'll say 10 seconds for each. What inspired the counter? What struck the idea?
I guess it's really this. Oh no, wait, I'm not showing my screen. It was the first initial fact of, you know, a child under 5 can dies every 10 minutes, and yeah, that's pretty alarming.
Yeah. Next one, you seem really passionate about the website. What have you learned through the process of making it? Again, I'll give you 20 seconds for this one because it's a bit long.
Ask for help.
That's it. Okay, great. Wonderful. Thanks for that. Okay. Thank you very much, Sabiha. I am going to move swiftly on to Tommy C. Hello, Tommy C.
Hi everyone, my name's Tommy C. So for this course I did pharmacy, so I'm a pharmacist, and my previous coding knowledge, so I also did a Code First Girls course in web development. So I learned the basics of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And from completing that course a few months ago, earlier this year, I've been practicing my JavaScript skills. So I thought it would be a great idea to join this course to learn a bit more about Python, because I feel like Python's that magic language that everyone talks about everywhere. It's like a buzzword. Learn a bit more about DevOps and also about Wagtail. I wasn't really sure about what Wagtail was before this course, so I feel like I've gone from knowing absolutely nothing to being able to develop and improve a site. So I'm going to share my screen now and show you this previous site that I was working on. Can everyone see my screen? Okay, so the charity that I've been working on is called DIFIN. It stands for Development Impact for Nigeria, and it's based in Nigeria, and it works to improve unemployment in the youth, as well as youth poverty in Nigeria. And it also works with vulnerable children, such as orphans, to provide them basic necessities, such as healthcare and education. So while working with this charity, there was a few key things they wanted to work on their website. One of which was to make it more engaging and more visually appealing. So they mentioned that they wanted more colours within the website. And they mentioned they wanted green and white to represent the Nigerian flag, as well as a dash of red. They wanted the website to be more interactive. So they wanted a way for people who were going onto the site to find out more about who DIFIN were, and for other ways for them to interact through forms like social media. And they also, and a contact form. And they also wanted to highlight the projects that they had been working on. So they wanted you to be able to go onto their homepage and see what they've been doing in Nigeria, and also link it to their partner websites. So I'll show you my site now. So this is the homepage. So when I was speaking with the charity, they mentioned that they wanted you to have a Nigerian feel, so to know that the charity was based in Nigeria, so incorporating the green and white colours, as well as a touch of red. So I've included that here and in the footer. And I've got a carousel at the bottom to highlight the projects that they've been working on, so they can input the work that they've done in Nigeria as an image at the bottom of the site. So as soon as you go onto their homepage, you see the work they've done. And on each page, I've included pictures of Nigeria as well, so you get a feel of where the charity is based. And here there's a video included, which links you to their YouTube channel. So that's another way to make it more interactive for people who want to find out more about the charity. They can follow onto the YouTube channel. And I also have the social media icons on the footer of each page. And there's numerous ways you can find out how you can get involved as well. And this is the contact page. What I would do if I had more time, I would probably do what Anastasia did and have a PayPal link, so an easier way for you to donate and an easier way for the charity to find ways to raise money. I would also have a section where, in the blog section, I would also have a link to the YouTube channel in probably one of the blogs, and highlight the work that they're doing in Nigeria as well.
Wonderful. Well done. Well done. So, again, what was your favourite session of the month?
My favourite session was, I would say towards the end, when everything started to come together. So I was seeing the blog pages and the blog index pages, putting everything together. That was my favourite session, because I got to see the work that we've been doing throughout the week be put in place, if that makes sense. So I've seen it all come together and seeing what part of the code was doing what. So by making a stream field, it was allowing me to do this. And by including a banner, it was allowing me to do that. That was my favourite part.
Great. Any more questions from the audience? Which other question can I ask you? What do you feel like you've learned? If you had to tell someone what exactly you learned in this month, what would you say?
I don't think I can pin it down to one particular thing because I've learned so much, but I would definitely emphasize what I've learned about Wagtail itself and how it's used. I've learned a few basics to Python. So I've started knowing nothing about Python to knowing basic commands in Python as well. And I've learned a lot about Heroku and deploying my work onto Heroku and trying to work backwards to identify errors. I think that's one of the key things I've learned, trying to work back to see what I've done wrong and how I can fix the problems in my logs.
Okay, great. So we have some questions now. One from Jennifer. Would you use Wagtail again for a future project? And I'm going to add to that why or why not.
I think I would use Wagtail for a future project because it allows whoever the website is made for to be able to, it's quite user-friendly, so you don't really need any tech knowledge or tech experience to be able to change the banner images or change the images here in the cards. It's quite user-friendly, so I would use it again, especially if it's for, I'm making it for someone else to use who has no experience. So they can adapt it, they can adapt the text, they can adapt quite a lot of things for themselves. If they wanted to, like a year later, they could do that. So I would use it again.
Wonderful. It sounds like we've got a short advertisement clip for Wagtail.
Really?
Right. From Sophia, we have what do the next steps of your coding journey look like?
Next steps of my coding journey. I would like to practice using Wagtail again. I find that practicing kind of helps me to retain a lot of things. So I like to practice Wagtail probably in a few more projects. And I wouldn't mind trying to pick up another coding language as well. So that's another point I'd like to do.
Speaking of coding languages, Malik asks, what is your favorite language?
I don't know a lot, so the only one I can really say is JavaScript because that's the language I'm most confident in. I've picked up quite a few things in this course with Python, but I would definitely say JavaScript, but that's just because I've used it the most. That's what I mainly know.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Thomas.
Thank you.
Mew, and next up we have Zainab. Let me find Zainab. There we go. Hold on. Woo!
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Zainab. I'm a second year law student, well, second year going to my third year now, law with Spanish law. And I just developed an interest for coding quarantine. I was like, okay, I need to do something. I was like, okay, I need to do something with my time, learn a new skill. This is my little sister, learn a new skill. And so I picked up HTML and CSS at the start. And then this opportunity came up and I just was like, okay, I need to get onto this. And it's been such a good experience. And as Joy said, the community has been so supportive. Like the volunteers have been amazing and everybody else has been amazing. And Diane from Street Strong Youth Project is here. And it's been so good working with her. So I will share my screen now, if that's okay. Okay, here we go. This is Street Strong Youth Project, a project based in Portsmouth. And it works with the youth to develop educational opportunities, motivational opportunities, teaching life skills. And the idea is just trying to get young people off the streets and doing something useful with their time. So here we are, this is our homepage. We have just a short introduction section that says exactly what Street Strong Youth Project is. And you can click on this button and get taken to the About page. We also have a latest news section that kind of takes you to the latest news blog sections, and then some buttons come up. And that's really fun. And then we have all the logos of all the companies involved, as well as Portsmouth City Council. So if we click on this button, we'll get taken to the About page, if that works. Okay, it's loading. Here we are. this is the About page. And I wanted something that was quite simple and easy and accessible for young people, especially because this is what the website is. That's the plan with the making a website. Oh, I forgot to mention, Street Strong Youth Project didn't have a website to begin with. So we wanted something that was going to be easy to edit for the creators of the charity, easy to edit, accessible to young people, and easy to navigate around. So we have the 3 main organizations involved. You can click on any of these buttons and be taken to a page that just has a little bit more information about the 3 main organizations. And then if we go back to the About page, we have like a little section that tells you where you can find them, and then a photo gallery. Latest news is like the blog section. And since it's the first website, we didn't have any blog posts to add just yet. But if you click here, this is just like a template blog post, and then you can return to the blog. And then we have the contact pages, so you have the contact us. And something that we wanted was to have a separate contact versus a youth contact page. Because this is a youth charity, we wanted the youth to be able to send queries in or questions that could then feature on this page. So if I had more time, I would create a functionality whereby the messages that were sent in by the youth could feature on this page. And if you click here, you can see the button actually changes color, so that's fun. And is there anything else? Oh yeah, the donate page. I also wanted to add like a PayPal, embedded PayPal like section in here once I get the PayPal details from Diane. I think that's actually everything. Oh yes, actually the upcoming event section, we wanted to have Google links to permission slips, because Diane told me that sometimes it would happen that the children wouldn't manage to get their permission slips over to their parents. So if you had it available on the website, it would make the whole process easier. So that's why we've got these links here. And that's basically it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Zainab. That was great. I would like to add that Zainab started on time, finished so early, worked so well. She worked really well on this and wrapped up so quickly. And I'm sure Diane has a lot to say. So let me pass it on to Diane. If I can try. Let me stop the screen sharing for a second. Okay, Diane. Hello.
Hello. I just want to say thank you. I really enjoyed the whole thing of it, and I was in the position that, you know, I had kind of a thing that I had to develop a website, and we haven't got much money to do it, and I didn't want to do it myself because I don't think I could, and this came up, and I just love Zainab, and I know I must have just been so, I used to worry because I would just keep sending all this information and being really, God, we got to have these logos because I've got to think of all my partners, and I've got to make sure everybody's happy, and I'd be, oh God, do I really send this? Do I really send this extra stuff in? And then I saw it, and God, I've just been so excited the whole time, really. I still am. I just think it's great. And I think the whole thing that, you know, I work with kind of disaffected young people, and the idea that a young woman helped to make this happen and part of a sort of a bigger group of young people just made it even more special for me, actually. So that's it, really. Thank you
So much, Diane. Thank you. Thank you for being here and talking, and yeah, wonderful. So let me move on. Who is next? Regina, you are next. Let me quickly find you. There you are. Hello. Oh, wait, I did. Sorry, that was quite. That was too alarming. I didn't go through Zainab's questions. So, sorry, really quick. Zainab. So I love the color scheme. So bright and refreshing. What aspect of the website were you most proud of, and what are you most proud of accomplishing?
I think I'm most proud of the button that when you hover over it, it changes color, because Diane did say she wanted some black and yellow, and I wanted to make sure I incorporated some black in there. And what was the other part? What are you most proud of accomplishing? I think I'm most proud of like getting the website completed within the week or like the 10-day time frame, because I was really worried that I wouldn't be able to do it, and I wanted to make sure that I got it done for Diane, because Diane's so lovely. So I made like a plan of what I would do each day and try to get it done by the end. And I think I'm like most proud of achieving that. So yeah. And then
Right, and then if you wanted to learn to code, how did you get your angel of a little sister started? The first steps you teach to her.
HTML and CSS, because that's how I started, and then just try to get into JavaScript, because that's what I'm currently doing now. So aside of like doing Wagtail, I've been trying to learn JavaScript, and so that's what I would do. Yeah.
Again, so which one do you prefer out of the two, building websites with JavaScript or Wagtail? Which is better? And there's only one answer, so.
Oh, okay, so Wagtail is like, it's a completely new experience, but I feel like it's really good for once you've got it started. For people who don't have much experience with coding, Wagtail is just so good. So I think I would want to build more websites with Wagtail and like improve my understanding of it, because I ran into some like trouble when I was trying to create columns on my site and just navigate around the site. I would want to like improve my understanding of Wagtail so that I could create better websites, I guess. But yeah, I think I like Wagtail, and I like the Wagtail community. Everyone's so supportive and so nice. So yeah.
Yay! Thank you for answering the correct answer. So I'm going on to Regina now. Sorry about that, I completely forgot about the questions. So off you go, Regina.
Hi everyone, my name's Regina and I'm 18 years old. I am definitely the youngest in the group because I'm the only one who is at A-level stage. So I studied biology, chemistry, maths and computer science. So understandably, from studying computer science A-level, I did have some prior coding experience. The majority of that experience was in Python, but I had never ever used Python to do web development. It was more just pure software. So this course was definitely going to be a new experience for me. So first of all, thank you so much to Coders of Colour, thank you to all the volunteers and just everyone else on the course, because I did feel like the volunteers and everyone were really supportive. And as for the course itself, I signed up from the course just to learn. I'm just that person that enjoys learning new things. And on computer science A-level, I did sort of dip into the very, very, very basics of web design. I wouldn't even say web development. So I was just curious to see what this was about. So I signed up and I can definitely say that I did learn a lot. For example, I've learned what Git and GitHub is, and I used to be very, very scared of these two things, but now I use them confidently. I definitely would say that I've learned what Wagtail is and all these different things. So the charity that I worked with is called Hertford Youth Club, and they just work with youth, mainly 13 to 17-year-olds, to develop them in all sorts of ways, physically, mentally, and spiritually as well. So they provide a safe space, which is called the Pioneer Cafe, for their young people, and they also rent out this space to other organisations that share the same aim as them. So if I share my screen. So this is their old website. And as you can see, the design of it's very outdated. I mean, me being the age I am, being 18, I felt like looking at this website, I felt really nostalgic. I felt like I was back in the 2000s, whatever, looking at this website. So it definitely was outdated. It did need a revamp. So my main aim was just to provide a functional website that had a better aesthetic, I would say, a more modern, up-to-date look. So Sally, the chair, was really nice, and she provided me with a layout, a rough layout of how the homepage was to look like. And she also chose a color theme. So with the layout of the homepage and the color theme, this is what I sort of managed to do for the homepage. And the rest of it was a bit, you know, thinking your feet, be intuitive, etc. So because the new structure of their website was very different to the old structure of their website, I wasn't really sure how to rejig it as much, and I wasn't really sure what content to put on there since I hadn't been given any, and I hadn't been given any photos. So I did try to guess a little bit, but also just put some, not just on text, but also text that might be of use to them. So this is their about page, and in the layout that they gave me, they had a lot of pages that they wanted to be in the menu, but to keep the menu, if I scroll back up, to keep the menu, you know, short and succinct the way that it was, I had to find another place to put these pages. So I decided to make some cards and just put links to these pages on the cards. So for example, they wanted events to be in the menu, but instead I put them in the about page, and they had a separate page for that. And for some of the pages, not all of them, but for some of them, I did try to give maybe like a template, or try to give them some inspiration of how they could possibly lay out their page. So I'm not going to go through all the pages, I'm just going to go through some of them.
Can we?
So this is then, sorry, yeah.
Donate page really quickly.
Pardon?
Let me see your contact page and donate page really quickly.
So this was the contact page. And of course, I did give the user the link to the FAQs page first. And for the donate page, I did just want an external link to the actual charity's PayPal account. So they could just, as the user clicks on donate, it goes straight to like the charity's account where they can donate. And on that account, they have what they're about, why you should donate, etc. But I feel like that's something that I could talk with the charity about. So I just hope that this is at least a starting point for charity. Now that they have this new website, this is a starting point for them to just keep users on their website, encourage the young people of their service to use their website more. And hopefully this can act as another space for the young people. So they have their physical space, but this could also be their virtual space as well. Yeah.
Great, thank you so much, Regina. Please send in your questions. I don't think Sally could be here today, but she was so excited about the website. I also think looking at that picture of the Eiffel Tower is the most traveling a lot of us are going to do this summer. So that was great to see. Nice to be abroad virtually. We have a question. You did so well to simplify the website from the previous one. Agreed. How would you do things differently even?
How would I do things differently in terms of?
If you could redesign, how would you redesign, I guess?
Oh, that's a good question. How would I, I'm not going to lie, I'm not entirely sure, because I don't think that the designing of the website, as in the CSS, how it looks, etc., I don't think that was my strong point in the first place. So I'm not actually, that would take a lot of thought if I wanted to actually redesign to make sure it, has the aesthetic of 2020, I would say.
Great. And last question from me. What was your favorite session?
So my favorite session was when we were doing our personal websites. There was this bit where we could personalize it even more. And with the help of some of the volunteers, I managed to get a website that allowed for translations into different languages. And that was by far my favorite, because the majority of my family do not speak English. The majority of my family speak different languages. So for me to be able to do something like that, of course, with the help of the volunteers, I was so happy with that, with myself, and with what I was able to do. And it just gave me an insight into how I would design websites in the future, especially for people in different countries.
Great. We have an extra question, which is, you said you know what Git means. I still think it's slang for an unpleasant person. What does it mean? So can you give us a 20-second description of what Git and GitHub are?
Yes, I can. So Git is not slang for an unpleasant person in tech world. Git is a version control system. So it's a tool that a lot of developers use, both web developers and software developers. So what a version control system is that when you're doing any sort of work, when you're working on a project, etc., with Git, you can kind of the analogy is you can take snapshots of your work at different points in time, and these will all be saved. So if anything ever happens, say if you just don't like a certain bit, or you lose some of your work or anything, you can go back to those snapshots in time, and it's actually really good for collaborative work, etc. And with Git is local, which means that it is on your computer, but should you want, you can upload this to the internet, to many different platforms, and one of the platforms is GitHub. So GitHub is just a place on the internet that will store your project and will store all the so-called snapshots of your project.
Wow. Oh, we've got applause. Yes. Well, look at that. So hopefully, Malik, that helped. Thanks so much. Next time someone calls me a Git, I'll take it as a compliment. Okay. Just to let everyone know, we have about 2.5 presentations left. So it looks like we're going to finish a bit earlier than 8:30. Woo! But just to let you guys know, we're way past the halfway mark. So the next person is Salma. Hello.
Hi, so I'm Salma Bihi. I'm a final year history student, and I'm close to finishing my degree, and I'm scared. I'm going out into the big working world, and I wanted to attain as many useful skills as I could. And then I saw this course and I thought, why not throw myself into the deep end as someone with no knowledge whatsoever, apart from a little bit of Python, of coding at all. And so I decided to take this course, and it's been really, really good. It's been a bit scary at times because I kind of didn't know what I was doing a lot of the time, but I've had a lot of support from the volunteers and from other people on the course as well. And I've learned so much. I think that's one of the benefits of being sort of thrown in the deep end almost. So yeah, the charity I decided to work with is called Shadow Youth Alliance, but I think they're changing their name to Future Gen. They are a youth organisation based in Bethnal Green, East London, and I'm an East Londoner, not far from Bethnal Green, so I thought perfect match. So they are, I think they said they were the only youth organisation in that particular part of London, and there's a lot of young people who come from disadvantaged backgrounds who they wanted to help develop and give them programs and sort of access to expert advice in how to improve themselves. So I'll just show you the website. Just give me a moment. Okay. So this is the website that I started off with. As you can see, it's a little I don't want to be impolite, it's a little outdated. And considering that this is a youth organization, you want something that young people can look at and sort of move around easily in. And just to quickly show you guys, this is how it looks on mobile, considering the fact that a lot of young people will be using their phones to sort of access this website. As you can see, there's not a mobile version of this. And so my main thing was to make it as accessible as possible and to have key information available to young people. So this is the website that I came up with. So as you can see here, I tried to make it as visual as possible. And I think they wanted as little text as possible because, you know, young people don't want to read a whole lot. So that's what I focused on. Did have a little bit of text, I couldn't get away from that, unfortunately. But I tried to sort of make it more visual and more interesting to look at, basically. The most sort of important page for me was the courses, because this is why a lot of young people will come onto this website to find out what courses are being run and what they want to take. So I ensured that there was plenty of information. I split it up as evenly as possible, and yeah. Also, I sort of made this sort of, if you click on learn more, it goes to Google Forms. So the charity can go in and create forms and people can sign up there. Oh, also, it looks pretty good on mobile, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty quick.
No, that's wonderful. Quick is amazing. Thank you so much, Salma.
Yes.
Yay! Well done. It's great. And like, to think, you know, Zainab does law and Spanish law, you do history. Sometimes I even forget that you guys do humanity-based subjects at uni because of how well you've taken to just learning something new. And I think you're definitely testament to just wanting to learn more and having that interest and that patience to learn means that you can achieve a whole bunch in a month.
I was genuinely shocked. I never thought, like, my sister's a web developer and she sort of wanted me to do something like this, but I never thought I could do it because it was like, it's a completely different language. I'll never be able to figure it out. But, you know, I thought, why not take a risk and challenge myself and do something that is so out of my comfort zone? And I'm really, really glad I did.
Yay, same. And I'm sure Future Gen is too. I don't think anyone from Future Gen is here today, but I'm going to ask my basic question and open it up to questions from everyone else. What was your favorite session?
One of the earlier sessions was using Python to create a small game, rock, paper, scissors. And coming from sort of a humanities background, logic is kind of, you know, we use a bit of logic, but it's not the first thing we turn to. So having to use only logic and get a computer to understand what you wanted to understand and, you know, get the results that you want was really difficult. And I kind of stayed up late. Even when I was like close to sleeping, I was just turning over how to solve the issues in my head. Like, I've never been so obsessed. So yeah, it was really cool.
Yay, great. Okay, we've got a couple of questions. One from Tom. How did you go about making it responsive for mobile?
I kind of, while I was developing it, I sort of wanted to ensure that, so mobile was my first priority, and I wanted to ensure that it was super responsive. And so I looked for things like cards to, because cards are super responsive and they look good. So it sort of fit the bill perfectly. But yeah, as I was creating the website, I sort of looked at the mobile version as well as the web version to ensure that it was fulfilling the needs for the charity.
Great, and I think you use Bootstrap, right?
Indeed, yeah.
What's Bootstrap?
Okay, technical questions are not my forte, but I think, as far as I understand, Bootstrap provides templates and documentation you can use in the building of your website. So they give you lines of code to get a sort of a particular result. So if you wanted a feature on your page, you would sort of take that documentation, paste it into your code and get the result that you want. So it's a much faster, instead of sort of writing things out line for line and troubleshooting, it's a much quicker way of getting what you want.
Great. And last question from Sophia. What would you say are one of the benefits of being a young person building the website?
I think it certainly helps that I'm on my mobile an unhealthy amount of time. So the way I sort of view the world or view websites and the internet in general is via my mobile. So that certainly helped. Also, I do work for a youth organization, so I kind of get what young people want. I'm not that young anymore, but like I still have my finger on the pulse, I think.
Okay, great. Oh, another question. It sounds like you really took a user-centered design approach, which is great. Did you find it hard to balance the need of the users, the client contact, and your preferences?
Yeah, I kind of had some idea of what I wanted, and I had a little layout, but when it came to the reality of creating it and sort of having my own limitations, I quickly sort of learned to prioritize what the website needed and what the charity needed, which was something that was very easy for young people to use, something that was friendly and approachable. So that's what I had to focus on.
Great, thank you so much, Salma. Well done. And we have our last kind of big presentation from Mohammed.
Okay, so can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Mohammed. I'm currently on a gap year. I did my A-levels last year. And so just a bit of background in terms of my prior experience. Throughout the beginning of the year, I think starting from around January, I got into web development. So I started learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript because I'm going to study medicine at university, but I also want to find a way to incorporate it with tech because I've always been interested in tech. And so I decided, yeah, web development would be a nice place to start. And so in terms of the website, I built a website for Muslim Youth Helpline. So they are a helpline that provides this free, confidential, non-judgmental helpline to Muslim youth. And the issue with their site was because it was built on Wix, it had some limited functionality. For example, the chat widgets didn't work very well. And another thing was that it wasn't responsive on mobile, sorry. And so that meant that the majority of the users, because a lot of the users are youth, they couldn't access the site very well. And so what I did was I implemented Wagtail, and this allowed them to maybe add pages very quickly, remove pages very quickly, edit their content. And I also tried to improve the layout as well. The goal was to just make the site more streamlined because I feel like it was a bit bloated. And I think it's still a work in progress, and I'm definitely going to be working with them throughout the next weeks to do that. But I'm just going to showcase the site that I worked on right now. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, it's fine. You can share your screen.
Okay. Okay. Let's just go. Yeah. So this is the homepage. We've got a nice banner here. My internet is being unresponsive for some reason, so just please bear with me. Yep, so this is the homepage. I put down some of the values of the helpline down here, and we've got a nice footer down there as well. Yeah, we've got an about page here. We've got a blog post here. This is an example of a blog post. I got this from their old blog post, and I just put it in to kind of showcase what it would look like. Yeah. I made a little contact us page where you can contact them if you've got any issues or any queries. And for donations, I couldn't put the donation link in time for today's presentation, but that's also one of the things that I'll be working on throughout the next few weeks. But yeah, that is the site in general. And I think the Muslim Youth Helpline is a very important charity because it addresses a certain need of a Muslim youth within the community, because sometimes you might feel like our voices aren't being heard. And the fact that they provide this non-judgmental, free, confidential helpline where you can approach them with your issues and they'll listen to you and they'll provide you with culturally sensitive help, I think that's very important, especially in times like this with coronavirus, where we've got people who are at home, are quarantining, and they maybe are struggling with mental health issues. And so what they're doing right now, I think is very important. And so, yeah, it's a very amazing charity, and I'm definitely looking forward to working with them throughout the next few weeks to even make the website better.
Great, thank you, Mohammed. We actually have Zora, who's the director of Muslim Youth Helpline here, and would like.
Oh, I just wanted to shout out the volunteers. They're really amazing. They helped us out so much. Tom, I think, and Kevin, I think they're here, but like they're really amazing with their help. It was honestly so like life-saving. Thank you, guys.
Zora, I can't see you. There you are. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. What would you like to say?
Well, I just wanted to say it has been fantastic working with Mohammed. I think when we first thought we could get our website done, because we had a website, it just wasn't very functional, didn't do the things that it needed to do. So it was really nice to actually get someone, even from a kind of ethos and values point of view. I'm so proud to be able to say that our new website was made by a young person. Our service users are absolutely at the heart of everything that we do. And so I think it's really important. We always try and get a young person's perspective on all the major decisions that we make and the service that we have. So to be able to say, actually, our entire website was created by someone who's a young person who is interested and doing a course like this is really fantastic. So we're really looking forward to seeing the kind of full version in the next couple of weeks. We're excited to work with Mohammed to finish it. But so far it already does some things, especially in terms of the responsiveness. It already does things that our current website doesn't do. So I'm really excited about it. And thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you so much, Zora. That was great. So we have some questions for Mohammed. First one from Malik. How can the website improve in the future? Better chat features, question mark. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Okay. So I think first thing I'd like to do is to put more thought into the layout of the site. I actually want to make the site more thoughtful, make the layout more responsive, and make it more like streamlined. So I think that's one of the things that I'm going to be aiming towards, because I've been working with Bootstrap and I didn't get much time to actually delve deeper into Bootstrap because I was more focused on the backend and Wagtail. So definitely I'm going to try to dive deeper into the CSS and the layout. In terms of chat features, yes, that's one of the things that we also want to add, because their chat widget wasn't working that well with their Wix site. And so we're going to port that over to the Wagtail site as well.
Cool. And from Sophia, we have, how has this project contributed to your personal development?
I'd say it's kind of taught me like multitasking, I guess, because before this, I was mostly working on my own personal projects, but having this deadline Monday kind of forced me to kind of try to prioritize and juggle different projects at the same time and try to carve out time every day to do both. So I'd say in terms of personal development, it's helped me work on my timekeeping skills, definitely. But in terms of coding skills as well, I've also learned a lot of Python. I hadn't done any Python before. I hadn't even done any backend before. And so I think Wagtail is an amazing product, and I'll definitely reach for it when I do another project that will require it.
Woo! Torchbox have so much content now of young people loving it, which I really love.
It's honestly amazing.
Great, thank you so much, Mohammed. So we have one more person here who had run into some major technical difficulties, so didn't get matched with a charity, didn't make a website, but I'd really love for her to, even if it's just for 30 seconds, talk about her experience and how she feels things went despite all the things that she faced. So, Ange, do you want to give us a couple of words? Yes, no? Okay. Wait, hold on. There you go. There we go.
Hi. So I guess I'll just do a presentation like everyone else has managed to do. I'm a third-year economics and Spanish student. I've had a little bit of experience with HTML but I've also completed a Python course this month with Code First Girls, and I've enjoyed my time on this course, you know, as Tolu said, given the technical issues, but it's taught me a lot about like how resilient you need to be to see like amazing results. So I'd also say like the best part of this course was seeing kind of like the homepage that we first created. You know, it took a while to get there, but when I did, I was just like, okay, wow, let me, you know, keep on carrying on and, you know, build something for myself. In the future, I think I would like to pursue, I guess, Python a lot more, just because I was just pleasantly surprised with how I enjoyed it, and I guess was kind of good at it. So yeah, and also in terms of Wagtail, I've been putting off like making my own personal blog, so hopefully I'll be able to implement what I've learned in Wagtail to do a personal blog, and hopefully like take people along my coding journey as well. Yep.
Wow, send us a link for the blog when it's done.
I will.
Great. Thank you so much, Ange. By the way, Ange managed to make and I think deploy a Wagtail website on a Chromebook, which is wow. Big wow. Yeah, see, we've got claps from everyone because it's a huge deal. Like, anyway, I'm just going to carry on because I'm amazed and I can't really get any other words out. But thank you so much. That was everyone. So thank you to everyone for presenting. Thank you to the charities that came. Thank you, everyone. First, huge thank you goes to Kevin and Tom, the volunteers that people have mentioned, you know, here and there, who are amazing. They are amazing. Tibo was also a volunteer. And I think Kevin has a few words that he wants to say, if I'm correct. Yes. Okay.
This is really impressive to see everyone's sites now. And to see the causes that people are interested in working with. I've learned a lot just from being on this call about what's important to everyone. It's really amazing to see. And I think, you know, the difference from when we started to now in everyone is just, a complete like full turn. Like people were sort of scared of Git or scared of errors, and now there's just none of that. So the journey that you've come on, it's just been really amazing to see and help you along with that. Another thing about the types of sites that everyone's making for these causes, it's brilliant to see, because once you become a developer and, you know, you get good at this, you will get sort of asked to do a lot of things for a lot of people, and sometimes they're not very nice people or they're not very good organizations. So, you know, we like to have our own sort of principles at heart as developers, and we try and use our powers for good, so to speak. So it's really nice to see everyone's doing that already, which is brilliant. I'm really thankful just to be involved with this. So a big thanks to Tolly for letting me do this. A big thanks for Tom and Thibaut for helping me as well. I just thank you everyone for being patient with us as volunteers as well, and chatting to us on Slack. And I know you've all put a lot of work in throughout the hours. And there's been a lot of talk about how good Wagtail is and how good Python is and how good JavaScript is. And these are all really good things, but they're nothing without a good developer. So you are the secret tool to Wagtail. So you are the person that makes it happen. So well done, everyone.
Yay, well done. Thank you so much, Kevin. I feel like we should just end on that, but unfortunately we can't. Tom, do you have anything to say? Do you want to say anything? Yes, no? Yes, okay.
Yeah, only brief though. Was really impressed by everyone. I got a bit of stage fright now, but did you see how many people were up right in the middle of the night with Git commits at like 2 in the morning and stuff like that? I was just, I'm really impressed with the resilience everyone's shown, because they've just kept at it, and the fact that all of those sites are up and working and styled and everything. There's so much skills development gone into that. People have gone from 0 to a lot, and there's a broad base of skills there. that are genuinely useful, genuine foundational skills that will get you going on a whole load of other projects and things you want to do. Like, it might not be Wagtail. Like, I know a lot of you are working with JavaScript and stuff like that as well. But it's all transferable. And really pleased to have been involved, and in particular very impressed by Tolu as well, who is really seriously working hard on the to make this project work, and very impressed. Well done.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you, everyone. I think I've already done special mentions, but like I said, Zainab, amazing. Joy as well. Joy was so professional with the whole thing, which I really loved. Anastasia's looked amazing as well, so well done for that. I don't know what else to say. I'm just impressed by everyone, and yeah, super happy. What else was I going to say? I think that's it, really. So if anyone that's here, special mentions to people that came. Hello, Stevie, if he's still here, which it looks like he's not. I can't find you, Stevie. But hello, Stevie. Hello, Jin as well, who I think is from the Tonic 15 team who found us on Instagram. So I hope you really enjoyed the event. Who else is there? Well, yeah, and also Mohammed Malik, who helped us with the speaking, public speaking. So everyone presented so well, thanks to Mohammed. So thank you for that. Oh, and hello, Jennifer, who is from Torchbox. And yeah, just thank you, everyone. If anyone else has anything they want to say to the young people, now is the time. But thanks for your time. 2 hours has been long, a bunch of presentations. So yeah, thank you, everyone. I'm just going to wait for the comments, but you're all free to go now. Not the students on the course, but everyone else is free to go. So thank you so much.